Meeting is called to order at 9:33 p.m. And members of the council, you have a pretty brief agenda before you. Are any changes required to that agenda?
I have none.
Okay. Hearing no indications that there are changes to the agenda, may I please have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Foe, seconded by Councilmember Smith. Is there council discussion of the motion to approve the agenda? Hearing none. I need to adjust my windows a little bit so I can see everything. Hearing none and seeing no hands up, are there any public comments on the motion to approve the agenda? Seeing none, I will do a roll call vote. Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
Councilmember Foe.
Aye.
Councilmember Lingua.
Aye.
Councilmember Siddiq.
Aye.
Councilmember Mejia is not present. Councilmember Mayers is not present, and I abstain. The motion passes 4-0. Are there any public comments? Okay, seeing none, I will move on to the next item on the agenda, the presentation, election results by Sarah Zolad, Chief Election Judge, and Kate Kelly, Deputy Chief Election Judge, River Park Board of Elections.
Hello, everybody. We had a lovely day and a good turnout. 221 total votes. 30 absentee ballots, I believe. 27. Anyway, the total votes for mayor for Alan Thompson is 221. There were 3 write-in candidates. One was Angela Also Brooks, one was blank, and one was Sarah Wayland.
That's funny.
Was that yours, Mr. Mayor?
Okay, for the council, for Ward 1, there were 74 ballots cast for Richard Smith. There was 1 write-in for Dan Barrand. For Ward 2, Aaron Foe got 57 votes. There were 2 write-ins, one for Michael McCoy and one for Christina Dragon. For Ward 3, there were 22 votes for David Lingua and no write-ins. For Ward 4, there were 43 votes for Mr.
Inyang.
Kate's going to say it,
Ifiat Inyang.
and 0 write-ins. For Ward 5, there was no candidate. There were 16 votes for Karen Mejia. So for Ward 6, there were 4 votes for Fode Callan and 0 write-ins. There was 1 provisional ballot for Ward 1 who voted for Alan Thompson and Richard Smith. And I think
That concludes our
that
report.
concludes our report. Does anyone have any questions?
Thank you for your report, council members. Any questions?
I have none.
Are there any questions or comments from members of the public?
Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead, Councilman. I'm sorry. Mr. Hamm.
Sorry. I just say thank you to the election judges and all the election workers. I know that it can be tedious work, but you are what makes a democracy function, and your efforts are incredible, and we are so grateful. Thank you so much.
+1.
Our pleasure. We get to go home now and you guys get to do the hard work.
Okay, I would, if there's no other council comments, I'm gonna just make a few. I think that it's really important, echoing the words of Councilmember Foe, to have these elections, even when they aren't contested, then it's a good opportunity to do many good things, to have people recommit to the office, to have people commit to the office if they're new, and to foster communications between elected officials and constituents. I think it's really great and really good idea to do this. And I have a long list of people who I want to thank for this election today. I'd like to thank all the candidates. I know it's a tough decision every time there's an election, to go for an election, to go for the office, or to seek re-election. I want to thank all members of the Board of Election, particularly Chief Judge Zolad and Deputy Chief Judge Kelly. I know that your day started very early today and you're probably ready to go home, so I'm going to speak quickly. They're probably not going to be called in on this, but members of the Board of Election Appeals. I'd also like to thank town staff. I think we all focus on the Director of Administrative Services, Jessica Barnes, who I believe her day started quite a while ago, 16 hours ago, 17 hours ago at this point. But I know there are many, many other town staff members who contributed to making this election work. And I thank all of you. And last, but definitely not least, I'd like to thank the hundreds of voters, 221 voters who turned out today to vote in this entirely uncontested election. Your participation, your discussions that we had in front of Town Hall or at your doors in advance were all highly valuable, and I appreciate your participation in this important event. So with that, if are there any public, Councilmember Smith, I see you've unmuted.
Yeah, I just wanted to, Mr. Mayor, add a thank you to council members Sadek and mayors for their service on this council during this last term. It's very much appreciated, and we're going to miss you guys.
Absolutely. Councilmember Foe?
Yeah, I just want to remind everybody, if you're going to spend all day outside in the sun, you should wear sunscreen. Decisions can be made. That's all.
Thank you. One personal comment to add another group to thank is my family, who has put up with me being stressed and busy and not available for many things over the last many weeks. I appreciate your contribution to this as well. Okay, with that, are there any public comments on the presentation from the Board of Elections? Seeing none, thank you very much to Chief Judge and Deputy Chief Judge for the report and for your service. And you are free to go, or you're free to stick around while we make a motion to approve the election results. Thank you very much. You're muted right now.
We're gonna listen, but we're gonna continue to do our work on our end, but we'll listen.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to the legislative action item on tonight's agenda. I need a motion to approve the town election results for May 1, 2023.
So moved.
I second the motion.
Mr. Kellon, you're not sworn in yet. You can't quite do it. So who made the motion? Was made by Lingua? Oh, by Foe?
I'll take the second.
Okay, motion by Foe, seconded by Smith.
That's incorrect. I'm sorry. I just raised my hand accidentally in that time. I think Councilmember Lingua made the motion.
Okay.
Councilmember Smith has the second.
Okay, that's what I thought, but that hand went up, so I thought it was you saying me. Motion by Councilmember Lingua, seconded by Councilmember Smith. Is there council discussion on the motion to approve the town election results for May 1, 2023?
I'll just say briefly, as stated by you all, all involved today and all who came out. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Lingua. Any additional council comments or discussion?
Thank you all. May God bless all of us. And let's have a good and prosperous election, the next one coming. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember, soon to be Councilmember-elect Kellogg, I believe. Are there any additional public comments on this motion? Seeing none, I will do a roll call vote. Councilmember Smith,
Aye.
Councilmember Foe,
Aye.
Councilmember Lingua,
Aye.
Councilmember Sadik,
Aye.
and Councilmembers Mejia and Mayors are not present. I abstain. The motion passes 4-0. Thank you very much. Let's move on. Are there any items of new business? Are there any items of unfinished business? May I please have a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Mayor, there is one question I wanted to bring up for the body before we adjourn.
Yes, sir.
Well, I believe according to town's, I believe it's in our code, that according to that, council needs to be sworn in 30 days after the election, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Well, being that our next, the legislative session is in June is normally when that would occur. However, that's going to fall outside of that 30-day period.
Okay, can we possibly take this as an item to be researched by the town attorney, and we can schedule a swearing in at an appropriate time in order to meet legal requirements? Would that be acceptable?
That would be fine.
Okay. Okay.
Mr.
and-
Mayor?
Yes.
Just if I could have a point of personal privilege, I assume I can speak for all of us in welcoming council members elect Yang and Cologne to our council, and looking forward to getting to work with you both.
Absolutely allow you that personal moment of personal privilege. Okay. May I please have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Foe, seconded by Councilmember Smith. Neither discussed nor debated, so I'll move immediately to a roll call vote. Councilmember Smith,
All right.
Councilmember Foe,
Aye.
Councilmember Lingua,
Aye.
Councilmember Sadik,
Aye.
Councilmember Mejia is absent. Councilmember.
Oh, she
Mejia-
just popped on, Mr. Mayor.
Oh. Councilmember Mejia, we have a motion to adjourn. Still connecting to audio. Councilmember Mejia, we have a motion to adjourn, and we are 3 votes in. Would you like to vote to adjourn or not? You received 16 votes, by the way.
Wouldn't you be 4 votes in?
Yes, we are 4 votes in. Thank you. I think that Councilmember Mejia, can you unmute?
Yes.
Okay, we are about to adjourn. You're just as a point of information, you received 16 votes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So would you
Good job, Karen.
would you like to vote in favor or opposed to motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Aye.
Okay, Councilmember Mayers is absent. I abstain. The motion to adjourn passes 5-0. We are adjourned at 9:48 PM. Have a great evening, everyone, and see you all tomorrow night, I hope.
See you. Good night.
Good night.
Good evening, all.